we're taking a look at this book here. I don't have children yet, so what about someone like me who doesn't have kids, or someone out there who has multiple kids? Right. Who is this book for?
You know, the people that I work with, what they say when they really embrace this work is that it's changed every relationship. Because if you start with yourself, if you start with self-awareness, and then from there you start making decisions about your relationships, it's really not about the child. So although it is based on the stories and the lessons from parents that are struggling with children who have addictions and mental health disorders, it really is for everybody.
Those are some tough topics to talk about,
right.
even to tackle, even to know where to start. How do you open up that dialogue between parents and between their kids when they're struggling on so many of those topics?
I think the first part of that dialogue is parents learning to listen. And while we think we listen well, we don't often stay present enough to listen. We have an agenda. We want to impart our wisdom. We want to lecture. We want to teach. We want to even debate. And so I think the first step is really learning to be present, really learning to listen, to quiet our minds and to understand where the child is and where their wounds come from and where their symptoms come from. When we do that, we can help them unpack it and heal.
So you talked about being inspired from your own personal experiences. When we flip through, are we going to be able to read some of those lessons or examples that you've experienced?
Right. When I thought about writing it, the one thing that I had was hundreds and thousands of stories of families who have been through this process. And my own story, too. There's a lot in there about my own story because it's universal. The lessons, the relationships really are about all of our relationships. And so, yeah, you'll hear those stories and my own story in it.
I was skimming through. There's some funny ones in here, too. So it's not all just kind of doom and gloom. There's some funny life lessons where you can take out some key information out of there, too. How can people get their hands on this book?
It's available on Amazon or wherever books are sold, Barnes & Noble and Barnes & Noble online.
Awesome. The Journey of the Heroic Parent. Thank you, Dr. Reedy, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.